Here on this good evening. My name is Dr. Eve, and welcome, where I share stories about building healthy communities and all the things to bring you from allegiance to freedom. My name is Dr. Eve. I am an educator and an industry expert in the areas of health and human services, where I center the use of group processes and community engagement for social support in an online and offline environments with an emphasis in technology. Super excited. I have been teaching all week long and for some time now on owning your stage and how to utilize your skills in a way that it does take you from allegiance to freedom, and giving you all the deets on how to get going, how to earn, how to become an earner, how to increase your capacity to earn, how to help us to build healthier communities by specializing in the things that you love to do. Today would be no different. We're going to be talking about, can I specialize? A lot of people ask that question. They think because they are working in the industry or a specific industry that that's all they should be doing. I'm here to tell you, please get the rest of your coins. For those of you who don't know me, I have been on a tour around the country at my team and I at the National Coalition of Black Women Rising. We have been on a tour and redefining well-being as the highest form of equity. Well, we know that equity is not our portion. So we also know that we can advocate, but we're not just advocates. We are, in fact, the solutions, and we are walking in our solutions every single day as we share with others how to remove and break through barriers associated with our economic stability, access to healthcare, quality healthcare, access to quality education, our neighborhoods and built environments, and of course, social support and the capital to do the things that we want to do. And so tonight, I am talking about, the topic is, can I specialize? Can I specialize? So on this journey, we have been teaching our leadership to integrate innovative approaches to manifesting their wealth and excellence. All of them, each and every one of them, are specialists. Each and every one of them have a niche market that they were working in. Some of them are still working in those niche markets. Some of them have taken the leap. And we are truly excited about that. And this is what we teach, but we also grow in collective together. It's more important for us that we understand that in unity we can do all things. We have the right to define ourselves, that in collective we have a responsibility to our collective work and cooperative economics. We've all born with creativity because he created us. He was the creator who created us in his own image. We are natural creators, walking in our purpose, using our faith, understanding that faith without works is completely dead. So we are here again to share with you just a few tips about, can I specialize? And I'm just going to take a second and share this in my community. No one knows that I was pushing the button tonight, and that's okay. Sometimes you just got to get the job done. And that's what it's been about for me lately, is just get the job done, right? You're called to do a work, get it done. If one person's in the room, whether it's all the replay viewers or not, get the job done. So again, thank you all for being here. And we're going to be talking about, can I specialize? Thank you all for tuning in as I share this out on my pages. All right. So again, thank you. So can I specialize is my topic for today, because I want to share with you some very important ways that not only I, but my friends and my colleagues have been really looking at our work and how we can use our specialty skills, strengths, to redefine redefine well-being as our highest form of equity. How many of you know that you literally cannot, no one can drive or dictate to you what well-being should look like to you, because that's an individual thing. We have so many variables, that so many ways that we're alike, but so many ways that we are also different, right? And so because of that, our variables, our buckets of variables may be different, right? Our situations may be different. And so, yes, we get to define that. And so what we also know, again, is that we are more than advocates, and that we are the solution, and that we come with all the things that we are more than enough, and we have what we need. So when I think of, can I specialize? I think about all the experience that that God has allowed me to gain over the years, and how I've been able to utilize those skills. So let's just dive right into the conversation about your skills. So, can I specialize? Yes, absolutely. Specializing heightens, number one, it does three things. It heightens your reputation. You, for example, I've taught college, I've worked in academia, I've worked in corporate, I've worked in hospitals, 10, 10, and 10. I've also worked as an entrepreneur, and I've also worked in the nonprofit industry, and I'm also still in the nonprofit industry, and I'm a serial entrepreneur. So what specializing has allowed me to do is to be creative in all those ways, right? Also allowed me to look at my skill sets that I've gained along the way in academia, health, and corporate, and how do I transfer those skills into the work that I do. So again, if you have been working in industry, and you have a specialty skill, whether it's a nurse, a doctor, a lawyer, a friend, a peer, a group, it doesn't matter, gardening, whatever your industry is, social work, whatever that is, you have a specialty. And that specialty, once you decide you want to be free, move from allegiance to freedom, then you can come into this space as an entrepreneur, specializing in the thing that you've always done and love to do. Is there a product your customer would want, right? So for example, in 2020, I've always known that there were skills that my customer would want, but it would vary depending on what I was talking about in the time. But in 2020, COVID happened. When it happened, people had to pivot to the internet. Well, I've always had the skills of data processing and computing and hardware and building centers and website, all kinds of things. People always said, you're not a web designer, da, 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 da. But in essence, it's everything to me, building spaces, building platforms, right? Because that is what I was called to do. Now, I don't like to design websites, but I do like to build platforms. So my skills made room for me. Is there a product your customer would want? Absolutely, because in this time and many times before, people have been trying to pivot. Many are having a hard time doing that. Many are having a hard time micro, macro, meso, macro level organizing, even, digital campaigning, all kinds of things that are needed when you think about data processing in an online environment or else the internet. So you got to think about your specialty and how it heightens your reputation, because it certainly did that for me. The best skills are those where your skills and your passion both intersect. For example, I have the skills, I have this computing. I'm sorry, you all. And as a result of that, my human service background and my skill sets in technology, I'm able to do both. I'm able to combine all the things that I love. Technology is a passion and a skill. but health and human service is the thing that I embody. My desire to create cultures of well-being, to create reduce harm and increase protection for the people that we care about in our communities, across cultures, across domains, across sectors, intersections, right? Intergenerations. It's very, very important. Can these skills transfer? Absolutely. Your skills can transfer. First of all, your best specialties are where your career and your passion intersect. We talked about that. For example, I'm a group leader, right? Group leader in a specialty area. Say that area is health and human services, or to be more specific, I could niche all the way down and say Black women in wellness, Black women well-being, Black women in economy, economic stability, finance, let's say education, healthcare, maternity care, maternal care, nursing, all the ways in which I help leadership to step into their roles to support and to build with us, to build healthier communities with us. Those specialty areas can also be areas where you talk about in a blog, can be also areas that you talk about in research, can also be things that you teach about, workshop about, contract about with the government. There are so many ways to look at how you can enhance your life and your allegiance to freedom through your specialization. And so I really just wanted to come here and share that with you tonight, because it's so important when we think about, even if you have a favorite recipe or dessert, a profession, career, group with a subspecialty, or your career with a love for training is needed. I saw an example that was used earlier that I really, really love. For example, say you're an architect. Say you're an architect, and in this season, building houses the market is slowed a little bit because of the high demand, because of the cost of housing. So an architect is not necessarily drawing the builds for a lot of houses right now, right? But if that architect would couple with a realtor, that architect could provide homeowners with the knowledge about space and energy, improving the value of their home on a consult basis, or they could partner with a realtor firm. In the partnering with the realtor firm, they can team up and do all kinds of workshops and seminars together to continue, even during a dry season. There's always these ways in which you can use your specialty. So how would you find some of these areas where you might strike up being able to get involved, consult or contracts or temp? We talked about the possibilities and the many ways that you could freelance in our first conversation, but you could look at job boards. Job boards are like Indeed, places, and put in like specific consulting contractors. That's still an entrepreneur. Temp jobs, maybe 2 weeks out of a year, that's still a contractor. You're still not under allegiance to anyone. You're coming in to do a specific job and you're gone after 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, whatever you name that, right? So I want you to be mindful that there are so many possibilities for you if you'd like to specialize in any particular area. Where, again, even if that's landscaping, I need a landscaper, right? I need someone who to plow land. I need someone to teach me a lot of things because I'm getting ready to go into huge farming season, and with a farming license for sustainable living. And so that means that I now have to dig, and there's some things I had to learn. There's some classes I had to take. So you have to, even if you have to sharpen your saw, like we offer these trainings, we offer opportunities for you to grow your specialization with us as we move throughout the country. In our collective I and We program, which is innovative approaches to manifesting wealth and excellence, the most important goal for us is that you, first of all, go from allegiance to freedom, understanding that if we're going to get equity, we're going to have to create alternatives to dominant institutional cultures. It's the only way it's going to happen for us. But we also build the capacity to show up for each other when we need to be there, right? If there is a something we need to advocate for, if there is a bill we need to fight for, if there is a way that we need to show up at the, whatever that is, we are building capacity to be able to do that while helping you to stand in your power from allegiance to freedom. So if you'd like to learn more about how to stand in your power for your family, create more income and freedom, get a free discovery call with me. The link is right there, Linktree, Dr. Evangel H. Savage, if you look in the bio of this video, and give us a call. And until the next time, we appreciate you. Go get what belongs to you. Peace and blessings.